I think the headphones are cheaper than the mic, so there's like a quality discrepancy.
Yeah, probably. Well, my mic was like, I don't know, just under 90, and these headphones were about 50. Man, did I and bloody faff about trying to buy these effing microphones. I was like, oh, well, I like that one. Oh, this one's got good ratings. Oh, I'll put this one in my basket, but I won't buy it. I'll look for a discount. And it's like 4 days later. I've looked on every website going, and they're like, oh, well, the dark blue, weird looking one's like 12 quid cheaper. I'll buy that. And then I bought it, and then I was like, what did I buy that for? I don't even like blue. So I cancelled that. I was like, oh man, I knew. I just did my own head in with it. I just can't just go out and buy something straight away. It has to always go around in circles for a month. But yeah, now
didn't even get into it. I had no vested interest either way, so I was like, okay. You said, oh yeah, have a look at this. Yeah, I was like, yeah, okay, that'll do. Because I don't even know enough to get into looking at what they do or what they don't do or specification or anything. So
no, I basically I saw a few people using one on YouTube videos that I watch, and I was like, oh, I'll get that, and that was like 150 quid. I was like, it's a bit steep. So I got the miniature, I got the mini version of it, which is, I think it's going to be absolutely fine, as long as people can hear, or that person that listened that one time can hear.
Yeah, well, nice for them. High quality audio for them both sides. We've laid out $250,000 on mics and headphones for one person. They should feel privileged. Yes, please.
We are on multiple platforms now.
Now, multi-platform.
I want to pretend like it was a real effort to do that. But I literally clicked a button in Anchor, and it just sent them all off to all these different places and started coming in. I was like, oh, cool. Nice. We're on Spotify.
No, brilliant. Matt and Will are on.
Yeah.
Matt and Will are on the platform.
The boys are here. Finally.
The boys are back in town. It's been a long wait. Now we're here.
And
so it's all working. Seems to be.
And yeah, obviously had I say obviously, I'll tell you the story as if you haven't heard it, just for everybody else's benefit. So I got that parcel delivered with that spot of blood on the parcel, which is gross.
Bit of claret.
Yeah, and I kicked it in with my foot, kicked it into the house. I'm not touching that.
The AIDS.
And I've bled on parcels before, so I know what I'm talking about. And long story short, they were really good. Amazon, really, really good service. Rang me up. Linda gave me 50 quid.
Oh, Lynn.
That'll do. I mean, I don't know what sort of biohazard and infectious disease is in that parcel, but I've got it now, and I've got 50 quid, so that's cool. Yeah. And then to top it off, I don't know why everybody's bleeding all over the stuff that I order, but hoodie come in from a company supplier, and like some sort of red speck of
nice drop of claret,
not pen. Well. It's definitely not pen. So I need to sort that out. So I emailed them. Hopefully they'll sort that out. Because I mean, I don't mind bleeding on my own stuff with my own blood, but
yeah, you don't really want everybody else.
I wouldn't send it out to someone.
There you go. Just print over the top of it.
Yeah, and vinyl that in.
That'll be fine. Red one. Nice new red logo coming out next month, next drop.
Yeah. I call it the splatter tee.
Splatter tee, yeah. We do the splatter tee, the acid one. The acid one is a splatter.
That's cool. I was going to wear that actually. I was just going to pop that on. I put my my LMFG t-shirt on, and then realised I never iron anything. I thought, I can't really wear that.
They iron themselves. That's the magic of the GBA.
Well, if you leave them long enough, gravity does it for you.
Yeah.
So my week has been the blood package. I wrote some stuff down. That changed when I did that. Obviously got these headphones for the quality, and then I had an MRI. On my knee.
How did that go? Well, you don't know the results yet, I guess, do you? Because they make you wait for 2 weeks while they look at it and then Google and see.
It's exactly that. Happened. Yeah, it's 2 weeks. 2 weeks until I get the results back through my consultant GP dude. But it was interesting actually, because they I was waiting, and I didn't know after I had the sort of telephone appointment what was happening. And I think it was on the Wednesday this week, I had a letter come through. They said, your appointment's on Friday at 6 in the evening. And I was like, okay, that's cool, because that's fine, I can make that. This big old checklist you have to fill out, like, you got any heart problems, ever been shot or got any bomb shrapnel in you, ever had any metal filings in your eyes, all this kind of stuff, like 20 odd questions, 20, 30 yes, no questions. So I filled that all out, got nice and prepared. And when I got there, the guy goes, right, have you got your questionnaire? I was like, yeah, here you go. He goes, right, I'm just going to run through all these with you. Like, okay.
Okay.
And then he asked me all the questions again.
Just to make sure.
I was
like,
in
case someone else would fill it in for you.
Yeah. It's like, well, why did I have to fill this in before I come here? If you're just going to ask me the exact same questions when I get here. It's weird. I suppose they just can't trust people with their own, penmanship. I don't know.
And what are you going to do? Are you going to lie? Yes, I am full of metal. Please MRI me so I can explode.
Yeah. It was pretty relaxing, actually. It was nice just to have a little lay down. And whilst the thing went...
But did you go legs in
Legs
first?
in. Yeah.
Yeah. So I had some where I went head in, and that wasn't... I think it went all the way over me. You think they would... Because it was from my leg when I did my leg last year. And I think it went all the way over, and it was super loud as well. That was an MRI.
Yeah, crazy loud.
Insanely loud. And then the ones I had for my hip were really quiet. So I don't know if they were a CT instead rather than MRI, because the MRI is magnetic, isn't it?
Yeah.
And man, that one that I had in Spain was insane. And they did 2 in a row as well, because normally they do 1. And they had to do my like upper leg where I broke it, and then my ankle. So it was 2 in a row, and it lasts about 25 minutes, something like that, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it was at least sort of 10, 15 minutes in there.
Yeah, so I did 2 on the bounce. And the guys were like, oh, yeah, should we do the other one? I was like, yeah, okay. Because they were going to make me come back like another day to do the other one. It was like midnight or something. They were like shutting the facility. He said, oh, you want to do another one? Yeah, let's get it done with. So I was like, in 45 minutes, you think I'm...
Yeah.
Okay.
They give me... like
you have to stay still as well, don't you? That's the other thing. Just stay still for 45 minutes.
It's all right, because they're scanning my leg. But I was thinking, what if you had like, I don't know, like a jaw or something you need to fracture? Because you can't like keep your face still that whole time. But they must do.
We're supposed to just stay still, full stop on it. So even if it's like, because what they were doing my pelvis, and then I think they did some of my chest before as well. And they're like, not hold your breath for 45 minutes, but on the CT stuff, they're like, okay, take a deep breath, and then you have to hold it, and you're not allowed to like breathe out or anything. It's a little bit awkward. Yeah, they can work out what's going on. Because I guess as soon as you move, then the images get distorted, don't they? Like overlap, and you can't see what's going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, no more of those. Well, I have another one. I guess I'll just have a straight X-ray this week, and I'll go back for my check.
Yeah, it's reassuring how everybody like exits the room and stands behind lead shields and stuff. Like
they give you a tiny little
doors,
like a tiny little PP cover for your have a pelvis X-ray.
What are you saying? Tiny like that?
Yeah,
like this. Give you a little, give me a little thimble to pop it on.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, mate.
I don't need that thing anymore.
No.
Yeah.
When I had the one in Spain, but it was just a straight X-ray at the time, and I'd hit my stomach because it was my stomach that got hurt, and I laid down on the bed in the X-ray room, and they didn't give me anything like that, because normally they give you something, don't they? Like this sort of lead sheet. I think it's like a lead sheet, isn't it, or something like to cover it or whatever. And like from the other side of the room,
flak jacket.
I was like, are you going to give me something to, like for protection or what? And from the other side of the room, she like frisbeed the thing to me onto the bed. I was like, wow, on my stomach, which was all busted open. So that was good.
Take that, bitch.
Enjoyed that. No, she frisbeed it at me. It's not back at her. Yeah.
All right, big man.
Yeah.
Want your protection from radiation, do you?
Wow. Like that. Yeah. Don't want to be nuclear, do you? Have some of this.
Oh, sorry, Your Majesty.
Yeah, take this. Like, pow, with the because they're heavy as well, aren't they? The thing's made of lead. So it like wallops me with it.
Well, they when I got in this one, they had it obviously on my left leg, which is where the problem was, and then they clamp it in, so it's got like a I don't know, like a holster, a leg holster. And then they
an MRI
attach it over the top, so it's like a tube, like a sealed tube.
Yeah, to keep it still. Yeah.
And then he put sandbags on my leg.
Oh,
so I can weight them down.
Seriously,
that was proper relaxing. I had earplugs in. I had
the most relaxing time you've had in years.
Noise canceling headphones on.
One of these, mate.
wow. So it's going to be about 15 minutes. Is that right? I was like, yeah. And I was
So you
like
had
listening to all
headphones on?
they put headphones on as well as earplugs.
I didn't get anything. No,
Yeah, because he goes, these are still really loud. And I was like, oh yeah, okay. I had one a few years back. And they did the same thing, but they piped music in to the headphones. The last one, they didn't do it for this one. They said, oh, if you want music, you need to bring your own CD. I was like, well, where was that on the checklist?
Bring my own CD. Do I need to bring my own Walkman as well?
I think I've got Onka's Big Mocha by Top Loader kicking around somewhere.
Now 42.
Dancing in the moonlight for 15 minutes on repeat. Yeah, no, I don't really fancy that. But yeah,
Smash Hits 98. Very good. No, they didn't give me anything for mine. Nothing. They just said, it'll be loud. And I was like, okay. And it was really loud. It's like an ultra version of the dial-up internet.
Yeah.
Full on.
Like, yeah, but even when the thing's not on, it's like
it's a massive magnetic.
Yeah, there was like something just like a constant beat behind it, just going doo 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 doo. I was like, oh, cool.
Waiting for it to drop.
Yeah, it's all sorts. It was this mobile MRI unit, and I hate being late for stuff. And when I don't
MRI.
Yeah,
MRI.
And when I don't know where I'm going, I get like, I want to be there like
you have to go
10
the day
minutes
before.
early. I don't like getting there and like figuring out where I'm going. And Claire obviously works at the hospital, so she was going, oh yeah, you go around here and you go in there and all this. And I had like a set of instructions on a letter as well. I was like walking around the hospital like a tourist, like looking around
with a camera around your neck,
checking the thing, reading the thing, like looking for doors that had opened. I was like trying these doors. I was like, no. It basically said on the instruction, there's a big white building with MRI written on the side of it. Just knock at the door. Could I find this building? I think it was massive, absolutely massive. It was like a mobile, like you get at school, like double, like one of the double mobiles. Yeah, huge.
Double wide. Big old mofo.
Yeah, so
I need an MRI on my neck now. I managed to pull my neck this week. Like horrible. So my hip is feeling pretty awesome. And then I woke up the other day and it's like someone had been jumping on my neck all night.
Yeah, well, you're nearly 40 now. So if you sneeze wrong, something tweaks.
So I haven't got anything to release that. I've got a foam roller, but it's too big. I was like, can't do anything. I was talking to Emily Tam about it because she was doing some like roller stuff.
Yeah.
And haven't you got anything? I was like, got a hammer. I used a rubber mallet and put it in my neck. That's pretty cool. It's got a handle on it. So I put the rubber mallet in my neck and lay on it and then give it some rotations and I released it a little bit.
Those, what they call AccuMobility. You've seen those, like they're not balls, but they're like a cone sort of thing. So they stick to a surface and then they've got like a ball on the end of it. So rather than having, how people like use lacrosse balls and things to get like to smash their stuff, they put a lacrosse ball under and then you roll.
That's what I wanted. Yeah,
it's like that, but it stays still, so you move into it rather than you rolling around on it. Yeah, I'm sure it's called AccuMobility, but they're meant to be. What's his name? Chris Duffin works with them. Really rates all their stuff. Yeah, all that kind of stuff is cool. And there's like microblading as well. You can get people to just get big old metal rods and blades and things, just scrape the shit off.
Though,
no, that's just a ball. That's just a ball on a suction cup sort of thing.
No, but even the microblade, isn't that like almost like a small rolling pin type thing? And it doesn't cut anything, does it?
No, it's not sharp.
So it's not a blade, is it?
A very dull blade. I don't know how you describe it. Like a fin. Knife. It's like a fin, like a boomerang.
Yeah.
Sort of shape.
For scraping.
Well, I'm all up for like trying all that kind of stuff. It's like if it's available and you think, well, we'll give it a go. Could work. Might not work.
Could. No, it's okay now. It's free enough a bit. Because I got physio on Tuesday and I was thinking, well, if it's not all right by then, I think it's from being on the crutches all the time. I'm like in a permanent struggle as well. So, and as well, when Janine helped us with the mobility stuff last year, I had a problem. I have the same problem for some reason with my trap, like quite a lot. If I don't train, So when I get hurt and then I can't train and I'm sitting down for a long time at the desk, I think it basically just sends the wrong signal from my trap or something. It just cramps after a while.
Yeah.
And then it's just like locked up there. And then with the crutches as well, just can't release it again. So it's now started to free off a little bit, but still not quite right. Still a little bit nippy. It's okay. It'll be fine
on the bike
by Tuesday when I can actually get the guy to have a look at my leg again. I was going to try and hijack that and say, can you have a look at my neck, because I think it's cramped from the crutches. Yeah,
healthcare professionals love that. Going to the doctors.
He's getting paid right now, isn't he?
I've used 4 of my 10 minutes. Can you have a look at all this other stuff that's wrong with me?
Yeah. I've got 45, so if he does like 3 on my leg, then he can do the other 42 on my neck. It's okay. The leg's okay. I'm not sure what else he's going to do with my leg, to be honest. Like the guy I went to in Spain, I'd done a lot of physio, or rehab, not physio, a lot of rehab before I went to him, because I was doing like 3 times a day. Went to him after 3 months. I saw him twice, and he was like, well, I can't do anything else. Like, there's not, what else are we going to do? You've got all the mobility back that you're going to get back, and you're strong enough already because you've been training. So that's it. Like they said, do 10 sessions. He's like, don't bother. But this one, it's like they block you in for 10, and then you have to do 10 because you get basically like a prescription from the doctor, and you go. They take the prescription, and then you do the 10 sessions. You pay at the end of the session. So after the first one, they were like, "Oh," I said, "No, can I pay?" Like, no, you pay at the end. So I've got to get a mortgage out at the end to pay for that.
Nice.
And then like, he gave me a band as well. Like, okay, I'll pay for the band. He's like, no, you bill at the end. I'm like, God, bill at the end. It's going to be good.
If you get to 9 sessions and then like just keep postponing the 10th one, and you just never get that bill.
Got to pay sometime, dude. Might as well just get it done.
It's true.
Yeah. Don't start. It's never going to finish it. But it means that they might have one of those balls. They might have an acumobility thing or something like that, because I think I could do that. It's feeling pretty messed up because the foam roller is just too big. So it's can't get in there and do anything. And everything else is not quite right. Like if you try with a tennis ball or something like that,
they're too squishy. It's
not hard enough. Yeah, too squishy.
Got one from My Protein. It's like those balls that you put in the tumble dryer, like laundry ones. Like it's like a ball but with loads of little spikes on.
Oh yeah,
not spikes, but they're like dull.
Yeah, it's got a texture
knobs,
on it.
Knobs.
Bumps.
Yeah, man, that is evil.
Knobs.
Like do that.
Yeah.
I used to do that up against the wall when I had issues with my shoulder and things like that.
I imagine though, if you don't actually know what you're doing, you're probably going to do more harm than good on you. Like that's what I'm thinking, is like probably just going to mess this up. But I've had loads of problems with that side, and I think it probably is because of my leg. Just in general, I always hurt this right leg, and then I don't get injured. Because what we were saying the other day about things when you're injured and when it's painful. So I think when it hurts. But do you remember I said when I was doing that juggernaut and got like 2, I think I was going into like the second max week, and I pulled my lat or something like that.
Yeah.
But like horribly pulled it, and I couldn't do anything. It's awful. And then now it's like moved up into my neck, but it's probably from my hip. It's probably everything is tight in my hip or something like that. It's just pulling everything. So I'll see if I can get through all these 10 sessions of physio and then see if they can then fix the rest of it.
Because a lat like tweaked stuff, that just takes everything out, doesn't it? It just
you
messes up everything.
My neck as well.
Yeah. Deadlifting recently, and like trying to like tuck everything in, like trying to squeeze like my lats and stuff in, and then I'll get like fairly into the session, and I can feel like my lat going, I'm gonna go.
Yeah. It's like right
no. And I've had it like down the bottom of my lat before when I've been squatting as well, and like a top set, and I'll like go into the top set and I'll like brace, and then I'll just feel it go. I was like, no.
It's almost like it's a conditioning thing, isn't it? Because it's a bit like a cramp. Because I had it before when I was racing the push bike enduros in Spain, and I could feel it coming, a cramp, and I get the cramp after like 3 hours of riding, because it's all there's quite a lot of elevation in the loops that they do. So you end up riding for maybe 5 hours in a day for a race, with some little breaks when you get to the time stages. But there's always like a minimum of say 1,200 meters elevation.
Yeah.
And after about 3 hours is about where I hit 800 meters, and every time without fail, and whether that was like a placebo thing or conditioning thing, I think it was that as well, I could feel my legs start to cramp. And if I just pushed that little bit more, that would then be it. and that would cramp, and then I would like my leg would lock up and I wouldn't be able to do anything. But if I could keep it right on the limit of that, then it'll be okay. And this is the same thing. It's like almost there with this like little cramp, and you push it a little bit too hard, and you're in the danger zone then, aren't you? But this in my neck, though, I don't know what it was. I just slept on the front of me.
I can relate exactly to what you're saying about training at altitude for like 3 to 5 hours and feeling a cramp, because when I train at sea level for about 2 or 3 minutes and my calves pop off, it's exactly the same as that. And I think maybe I just need more electrolytes rather than training calves specifically for the workout I'm doing. I'm thinking my electrolytes are low, or my chakra is out of whack somehow.
Could be. Or the moon's in its fourth quadrant.
Yeah,
and it's going to be in eclipse.
But yeah, when I think it's half and half. A lot of the time when I've smashed my calf a couple of times, haven't they? Like just pop off every now and again, and I'll get the fear when I'm trying to do like jumps and skipping and all that kind of stuff, running as well. And I'm going in my head, I'm going baby it, and I go no, it's not. This is going to hold on. No, it's fine. And in my whole time I'm thinking about it and worrying about it and obsessing about it and trying to like protect it, so I'll then end up striking harder on the left leg than the right leg because I'm worried about it, or something will go on. But yeah, mine, I can feel just before it's going to go, so I'll stop and I'll go, right, I know that's going to go, so I'll stop doing that, because otherwise there's going to be like out of action for a couple of weeks. But so far, touch everything wood, I've got some PBs on some double under workouts and stuff for the last couple of weeks. I've been training that every week. With some little...
Well, that's how you win in the end, isn't it? If you can be consistent with it and you just build a little bit on top of a little bit on top of it, because that's where I go wrong with, you go out too hard or too fast too soon, and then you get hurt, and then I'm done now, aren't I, for 4 weeks. Imagine how much I could have improved in those 4 weeks.
Yeah,
I've been off, and now I've got to get super long way to get back, but I've got to get back to where I was, get that confidence back from after having a crash, and then get some strength back as well and get going again. So if you can be conscious of that and manage that sort of thing, and it's a bit of an ego check thing in the end, isn't it? That when you can realize that actually the progress you'll make out of backing off and not hurting yourself is actually going to be much bigger than maybe that little PB you would have done that day, then you're winning then, aren't you?
Yeah.
There's a balance, obviously, in that you can't baby it all the time and be a pussy all the time, can you? But
the thing that I've found from doing that, because I do the Annie workout, which is 50, 40, 30, 20, 10 double unders and sit-ups. I think I'm just getting faster at sit-ups, which is, quite good, because that's just a bit of core endurance, because there's quite a lot of sit-ups in one go. Just getting faster at that, and just putting bigger sets of double unders together, because I was doing these workouts. So like 1 week it took me nearly 13 minutes to do this one workout, and now I'm like down to 9 minutes 20.
Yeah, man, that's a big difference.
But it was insane, because I was just standing there on the driveway, and you know what it's like when you're trying to practice double unders, and you're like bang, bang, and you're just like, oh, for fuck's sake. And I swear, I say it as a joke to people in CrossFit about what they need to do differently. I just say, I just need to jump higher, like for anything, doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah, you keep saying that to me, just jump higher, just jump higher. Yeah, aren't we?
But I did start jumping higher, and that did it. just start jumping higher, jumping harder and jumping higher, and spinning the rope that little bit quicker. But it was like a spin and relax, so it wasn't as constant. It's like a spin and relax, and that got like a nice little canter on the go.
When you see people who are good at it, you can see the rhythm. Well, you can see when you do it now, you see the rhythm of doing it, because you as well hold like a really strong position as well, don't you? Like you see some people, they're still managing to do it, but the position's not that strong. I guess the more you can...
The donkey kick.
Well, not even the donkey kick, but the position is just a bit loose. It's not like they're a bit broken in position, but I think the sort of more you can stay straight, the less power you lose, don't you? The less energy is transferred into actually making you jump within reason. It depends if you're doing it all in your ankles or you're using the calves a little bit as well. You can't really do it all in your ankles, and you can't really get it all out of your ankle.
I want to get to a stage where I look relaxed when I look back at a video. I look relaxed, because at the minute I know I'm tense, because I'm like holding on my back flippers, like trying to get to like the biggest set I can, when I'm doing the conditioning stuff. And I was talking to the CrossFit coach. This was a while back when I first started trying to do double unders, and he was saying, like, never go to failure. Like, never go to failure on double unders. Like, it is only skipping, but you wouldn't like go to failure on any other movement if you're in the middle of a workout. You wouldn't like do it until you
failure though. With a double,
do it until you can't do it anymore.
Can't do it anymore.
Yeah. So it's like just try and but try and understand what an okay set is, and then do it in sets.
Yeah.
Because if you can do, say, 50 unbroken, but that is your absolute max, and you're dying after doing those 50, then you're going to have to rest and recover to be able to do the next set. So if you just do like 20.
I imagine for most people, it's not a fitness or endurance issue, is it? It's a technique issue.
Yeah.
Because for me, I can jump. The way I was doing it was I was trying to build the different pieces. So I do those penguin jumps and the power hop, and it was like the power hops that were helping a lot. Power jumps. So trying to jump like double the height of a single under, for example, to get high enough and consistently. So try and do 100 of those in a row, then have a rest, and then do another 100. So you're building that jumping endurance. And then you've got the technique side of it as well, haven't you? So that's this penguin hop, like clapping your hands on your thighs. But I can, much easier for me to do 100 power jumps than it is for me to do 10 double unders. Do you know what I mean? So it surprised me if someone could get to the point where it was their fitness that stopped them rather than their technique, unless they were elite, and then they don't really need to worry about that because you're probably doing so many double unders. I mean, like there's probably never going to be a workout where there's 1,000 double unders in a row or something, is there? Do you know what I mean?
Probably not 1,000.
So like, yeah,
they do.
I thought the technique is always going to be the problem. Like for you, I'm sure you could jump more times than you can double under. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I can do skipping. Well, I can't do any more because I forgot how to do single unders now. But I suppose I liken it to if you had to run a distance, and then like me trying to do as many double unders as I can in one go, and like holding on is like I would be sprinting that distance, and then I'd have to stop sprinting at some point because I'd be unwell, and then the rest of that distance would just be a horror show because I'd just be so knackered from trying to sprint. Whereas if actually I just walked it or jogged it, then it would be it would feel a lot better to complete that distance. Yeah,
but it depends what aspect you need to improve then.
Yeah.
What do you need to improve at? Do you need to improve your double under endurance, or do you need to improve your double under technique? Because if you need to improve your double under endurance and you can do the technique, then you need to add more double unders. Otherwise, you're never going to get better.
Yeah, all of the above.
Yeah, because there's a different thing as well between being able to have the strength to jump high enough to do a double under compared to being able to do 100 consecutive jumps or 200 jumps or 300 jumps. You have to train a different thing, don't you?
That's the other thing I do after I do the Annie workout is I do an EMOM. So in every minute on the minute, I just do my max unbroken set for 10 minutes of double unders, and whatever my score, and I'll like try and beat my score. So if I only get 2, so you just go, and then as soon as you stop, you stop. So it's like it's like an elimination round sort of thing. Yeah. If I get 40, brilliant. Then I'm like on my way. But then if the next round I trip after 2 or 3, then that's the score. So now I'm on 43. So then I got to wait. And then in the next one I do another like.
But your max unbroken set is related to technique or related to fitness? What do you normally fail because you trip on the rope, I guess? Do you make it out?
Well, it could be either because I can rip out a set of 3 or I can get up to 40. It's building up the consistency. So I'm trying to like build consistent sets of like, okay, I know I can always get to like 20, 25 I think before I trip, because I'm trying to be consistent with how I jump and how the rope moves and all that kind of stuff.
But it's also how your technique breaks down when you get tired, isn't it?
Yeah.
So the two things come together again, don't they? Have you got solid technique, and then can you maintain that technique when you're tired?
So the answer to both of those is no.
Comes from practice and some sort of progression, doesn't it? And like I say, in doing sets, because you can do multiple sets, can't you? And build up the reps, and the multiple larger sets build up the fitness to be able to do the double unders in general. I can't explain to anyone about any of it because I can't do double unders. So, but the general principle applies to most things.
Most stuff.
You're right. You go to failure and then you've got to do that recovery part, haven't you? And if it's a really stressful thing, which jumping is quite stressful, like jumping rope is quite stressful on the body, like impacts like that, they are quite stressful to recover from, even though it doesn't seem like super high intensity. There's still quite a lot of load, especially if you're jumping as hard as you can. Do you know what I mean? Like when people are doing jump warm-ups, when you get a jump warm-up in a 5-3-1 or something like that, then the jump warm-ups are really quite short, just to prime the system to be ready to squat or to deadlift. And you're only talking about, say, maybe like 15 jumps tops, something like that, long jumps or box jumps. So yeah, they're pretty powerful things to use.
And warm-ups are always the worst anyway, aren't they? They always feel just rough. Like, because you're just going from nothing to then all of a sudden you're doing something. Even like on my any of my powerlifting sets, all the warm-ups just feel gross. They just feel progressively worse, and then it doesn't even feel any better until you start coming back down the other side.
Yeah, down the other side's right, isn't it? Once you get back down the other side, I always remember that from when I was training before, even like in Luton when we used to train there. Like you go all the way and you think, oh man, this is a grind going up, and you hit like a set. And I know we do some sets on the way up to the top set of deadlifts, like we used to do like a pyramid, like a descending pyramid one. So you do 60 for 10, 100 for 10, 120 for 10, 140 for 8, 160 for 6, 180 for triple, whatever, and 190 for single. And then as you come back down, it'll be like 140 for 15, 100 for 20. Smashing it all the way down. Because your body's ready for it, then, isn't it? It already feels heavy from hitting your 190, and then on the way back down, it's like, oh, yeah, this is easy. She's primed as a proper warm up. Yeah, there you go, warm up. But I'm pretty excited to get back to it. It'll be interesting to see how long I have to wait before I can go again. Hopefully not very long. Went out on the push bike again today. That was good. Didn't do any wheelies. Kept the wheels on the ground.
So it's still snowing?
No, it's stopped now. The weather's all right. There's something I can see snow, but it's not actually like actively snowing anymore, which is good. So I got out. I'll sneak out tomorrow in the morning. It did rain a little bit this morning, but there's some cool little trails around here. There's some trails that run by the side of the river, pretty flat, so you can go indefinitely basically. And it's just nice to get out, because I haven't been able to get my heart rate up for 4 weeks, really, like a little bit, doing the push-ups and pull-ups and stuff like that, but only in little rounds, because it's the same sort of thing as a double under, isn't it? Like with a push-up and a pull-up, you can only keep your heart rate up for a minute, really, in a minute, and then you have to jump down and do something else, and then jump up and then jump, and you can only do that for so long. But with the push bike, you can keep it up as long as you can keep it up, really. I haven't been back to the box just yet. They've been open, obviously. This is end of week 2 now, so everything in the UK is open back up. Well, I say everything in the UK, stuff has opened back up, and this is the end of week 2, so people have been going back to gyms, and some new gyms opened and things around here, so everybody's getting in amongst it. And Instagram is alive again with all the people in the gyms sound of plates
lifting, which is cool. So you can see everybody getting after it again. But I just haven't wanted to go back, just because I feel like, because I've got this issue with my knee, if I go back and I have to change the workout or scale the workout or anything, like where I don't feel like I've done the same workout as everybody else, I'll feel like, oh man, that was shit. I feel like, that was a bad session, because I haven't done like what was written on the board, which is all in my head.
It's not a bad session though, is it?
It's not. It's just all in my head, but it's just how I feel about it.
Resolve it, in your own head, basically. Like, what's more important, to go there and train with people, or train on your own and be in your own head, okay with yourself in your own head? If you're going to get more benefit from going there, I guess the problem is, if you get the benefit from competing there and you're not doing the same thing, then you're not going to be competing in your own head, are you, with them? You're just waiting. So I understand where you come from.
It's also really, it's quite difficult to, like, I'm not very good at pacing anyway. I did a workout the other day where I did ski, row and bike. I'm looking at them now, so ski, row, bike. And I really, really messed up the pacing on it. I came out so hot on this one. Oh my God. Because I thought, right, it's 1,000, I'm going to do 1,000 meters. So it was 1,000, 800, 600, 400, 200. So you go 1,000 ski, 1,000 row, 1,000 bike, 800, 800, 800, 600, all the way down to 200. And I thought, right, I'm just going to have to go. I want to get this, like, I want to get this first kilometer. I just want to get it done. I want to be off this thing and on to the next one. So normally I ski at about just over 2 minutes for 500 meters on the ski. And I think I came out at like 130, 135. And I thought, I'm going to hold this. I'm going to hold this wide open for this whole 1,000 meters. Like, oh, I don't care. There is no tomorrow. Let's go.
There's no stopping me.
Yeah. I must have got 1 minute 40 in. And I was just like, oh no. And I'm mad. The rest of that 31.5 minute workout was a disaster. That was
just at 800, 600, 400, 200, 100. Did you do 150 or?
No, I didn't. I did because there's not a great deal of point in doing what I feel, because you're not on them for long enough. It's more, you just take longer to get on and off the thing than you would to get to the next.
Well, I guess it depends if you can increase the intensity at each stage, because in theory you should be able to, no? Or do you hold the same pace for each?
I think I did it wrong in the first place. So yeah, you would.
I went out way too hard.
Yeah, because I didn't have anything left. But yeah, always on the last one, you just meant to just go absolutely flat out. But you probably should be able to start pulling the trigger in the 400s and then holding on for the 200s.
Depends what the point of it is, like what is the goal of it. But the overriding goal of all of it is just like this general increase in conditioning, isn't it? It's just like a general leveling up of your foundation fitness level, isn't it?
Yeah, because
if you're going to get specific, it's a different thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm quite comfortable. I can jump onto the rower or the bike for a longer period of time and just hold like an okay pace for a longer period of time. I'm quite happy with that, but it's the sprints I don't like. So I'm trying to make myself mix in some sprints and stuff into stuff.
Yeah, well, in general as well, if you sprint, I think there's lots of studies on this, but the carryover from sprinting, that brings your whole conditioning level up, doesn't it? It brings your endurance level, your ability to maintain a slower pace for a long time, and it obviously brings your sprint performance up. Yeah. More so than if you do like steady state cardio for a long time. You get much more carryover from sprinting than you do. I don't think there's any carryover basically, is there? Maybe you get some increase in recovery between sprints from steady state, as you're just improving your general conditioning level, like your endurance level. But when I ran marathons and stuff years ago now, and I didn't run any sort of distance, I was training weight. I didn't do it fast. There's not make any mistake about that. But like the first time I ran a half marathon, I think the longest I ran was 8 miles, something like that. And all I was doing was sprinting and weight. And then because I had like the sort of sprint ability, like this ability to exercise at a decent intensity for a time, then when you back it off, then your sort of cruising level is relatively high. So I sort of cruise around in, I think it is like an hour 50 something. That's all right. I'm pretty happy with that.
Yeah.
For the first go at it. I didn't ever go much faster than that. I think the fastest I ever did was like an hour 40 something when I was doing more martial arts and a little bit more endurance. Makes a difference. And then if you're specific, then you have to focus on the long distance. Then you focus on the steady state, long distance, then you add some intense loops in there.
I'm very non-specific. I just want to get a bit stronger and then not hurt as much when I do the other stuff. That's the thing. They just hurt so much. Some of the conditions. So I did some really awful ones on the driveway the other week. They were horrible.
The problem is it's never not going to hurt though, is it?
No.
As you get fitter, you just go faster.
That's it. And then it hurts for less time because you're faster at it.
It probably hurts more.
Get it done. Yeah, it hurts more, but for less time.
Because you're able then to use your capacity, aren't you?
Yeah.
It's the same with weights, isn't it? It's like when you're starting out with the weights, you can't lift as much, but it still hurts. And it hurts the day after. Because you're using like what you're capable of using to the maximum. But then as you get stronger, the weights get heavier and you're able to use more of your capability and you're able to use more of your muscles effectively, isn't it? Because your nervous system is then able to fire more, and then you use more muscle, like to lift more weight, but it's still savage, or even more so, because you're using so much of your capacity and you're so much stronger.
Well, I think one of the worst times that I've had like muscle soreness was the first time I went to kickboxing. Remember when we went to kickboxing in Wroxham, in that village hall? And I remember, like, I went there the very first time and I enjoyed it. And I remember, like, still the next week going back there and hobbling up to the door, like my legs, like they were just effed all week.
What was that from like the bouncing, or it was a bit like
idea.
Yeah, but you never trained at anything.
No. Yeah.
And that's probably
That was like a
you
slug.
went there, and that would have been the first time you'd done any exercise. Or were we training a little bit in
probably like
Norwich
little tiny
at the time?
bits in and out?
I don't
maybe
think we were,
seams.
because didn't we go to Seams when I came back from uni for the summer?
I can't remember.
I think so, because you were then living in that flat, weren't you? And I think I somehow managed to convince you to train. But when we were kickboxing, we're still at high school, no? So yeah, you were not doing anything. I don't even know how I managed to convince you to do that.
I'm not sure.
I can't even line up all those dates in my head now.
No,
because the
I remember
Wroxham
getting
stuff
on a train, so I think I still lived in Norwich. So yeah, I remember getting a train there. But yeah, that was the worst I've felt in a while. I mean, I've probably blocked them out now, just various squat sessions and things. But yeah, not having like legs like that for a whole week. But
yeah, because that makes sense, because you weren't doing anything. You literally didn't do anything. So somehow I managed to convince you to do that. Yeah, so maybe we were training as well with the weights and seams and stuff like that. Because actually, it wasn't when I come back from uni, was it? It was when you moved back from Norwich and I moved back to Norfolk and was working in DRDs, and we went and we did the kickboxing, because one of the guys that I used to see in the shop that I was working with at DRDs thought he was the chief, and then I think we went and smashed him up. So that was good.
Good time.
Yes, please. And Trevor, I was thinking about Trevor the other day when we went Thai boxing in
did somebody walk past you that was more tiger balm than man?
Basically composed entirely of smelly salve.
Yeah,
he was cool then. Maybe he's still around or not. It's pretty cool.
I saw him a few years back. I remember seeing him going back like 10 years maybe.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's a cool guy.
Yeah.
That place is still running though. I think the gym is still running.
What, Kickstop? Norwich?
I don't think it's called Kickstop anymore. I think it's like an MMA gym. I think maybe Tom Telford or the other guy, Stuart Chase, has to do with that. Yeah, but it never really blew up in Norwich that much, did it?
I don't know. They've got like like contenders and all that kind of stuff. Like there's a little scene there, but nothing major. Everyone's a bit too relaxed. No one's that het up about anything around here.
Chill out, boy.
Yeah.
We doing?
Ain't got time for that.
You say that. Well, there's quite a culture of, well, there used to be at least, like the little towns going head to head on an evening. Quite a culture of that.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's anymore. No one's allowed out anymore, are they?
I don't know.
You just have to fight on the internet.
Yeah. Scrap it out with memes.
Go. Pull the trigger.
Give the life out of it. Yeah. Yeah. But that's
that's your week. My week has been my neck. I got a knife for cooking with. That's pretty sick. Bad boy Damascus steel mega knife.
Was that this week or was that last week? Because last week you had the stew.
This week,
a significant portion of podcast related to stew talk.
This week is pulled chicken, is what I made this week.
Yeah,
which was pretty good.
There's one thing that I really dislike doing in the kitchen is pulling pork or chicken, like with the forks. You get the two forks and you're I'm just
that's
like,
what I did.
Get me out of here.
I got
just cut the chicken up.
I got arm pump. I was thinking as I was doing it, I was thinking, can I just eat this? Can I just change it from pulled chicken to just chicken with sauce? Would that be okay?
It's just it's bullshit doing that, pulling that chicken about. It's like
You have to put.
it's like scrapping around. If you got it on a plate as well, it's like it's like this isn't adding anything really to the flavor of this whole thing. I've got the sauce and the chicken there.
It's a texture thing, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
And
yeah. Well, I do like my chicken to taste like sloppy mush, actually. So yeah, yeah. Maybe that's the way I make it. Maybe I over pull it.
I don't know. Can you over pull it? I think it's supposed to look like stringy like that, isn't it? But I got to the point last night. I was like, well, now it just looks like cut up chicken because I haven't done a very good job of pulling this. Then I had to do like another 5 minutes of pulling to make it actually look like pulled chicken. But then when I looked at it, I was like, oh, no, actually, yeah, no, I've succeeded now. It was pretty good though. It surprised me. It tasted like it's supposed to taste.
It did make me laugh last week when you were talking about that stew. You're like, yeah, man, stew. Oh, stew. And then we finished the podcast, and I walked out of the garage, and my phone went. That's you. The picture of the fucking stew. There's a man who really likes this stew, and you're like, oh man, it looks amazing. Tastes average. Oh, but yeah, that's about right.
As out of the pan, it wasn't great, but in the bowl, it was okay. And the next day, it was pretty awesome.
Oh, yeah. Did it mature? Did it mature over 2 days?
Supposed to leave, aren't you, for a day? So you have to consider that right now there basically isn't anything going on really for me except for cooking stuff and trying to not hurt myself again. Yeah. So that's quite a highlight in my week at the moment. So, good. But I have to pick something else for next week now with my knife. Yeah, got the mic, got the headphones. I'm not very impressed with these headphones though. There's like a permanent mouse squeaking in.
These ones are good.
So I don't know what it's about.
These ones are really good.
They look cool. These look pretty cool. These are pretty sick. Look.
Yeah. You look like a pro gamer. You need like a can of Monster. Can of Monster and sure. I don't know, playing Minecraft or something. You'll be well away.
All about Gran Turismo. You know me. Minecraft is off limits. Gran Turismo, yeah. I think maybe it's just a USB.
I'm hoping Harrison's going to turn into like a Fortnite world champion.
Well, get him to play, man. That's the difference.
He plays a couple of times a week.
Play, man. He's playing 20 hours a day.
Right. He wasn't very good at golf. He's not great at football. But Fortnite, he is rocking it. Yeah. He's rocking Fortnite.
It's the future. Esports is where it's going.
Yeah.
Esports is the thing. So
I was trying to teach him a bit of a lesson about money and things like this. Like his mates have all got the battle pass for Fortnite, so they're all playing and they're unlocking this stuff, and they're spending all their V-Bucks on this and that. And he's like, V-Bucks. And I'm like, I don't really want to spend actual money on like a different color cape for your guy. Like it's that sort of stuff. It doesn't help you out in the game. It just looks different.
Yeah.
And then eventually I thought, oh, do you know what? It's only like £6 for this battle pass. So I'll buy it for him and I'll gift it to him. You can like gift it to him from my account. So I did it on the Friday night and he plays it on a Saturday morning. And he went downstairs and woke up and he started playing it when he got up. And I went downstairs in the morning and he said thank you to me for like gifting it to him. And he said he got so excited when he saw that he had it that when he tried to speak, no words came out. And I was like, oh man, that's proper excitement. Just a squeak came out. But anyway, within this battle pass, you get experience points and you like progress and you unlock all this stuff, and you can earn these V-Bucks which you can spend on stuff. So his mates are like spending it, like I say, like on lollipop shaped guns and all this kind of just stuff, which doesn't help out. But when you're 8 years old, that's what's cool. And I said, listen, dude, if you can save up all your V-Bucks, you can buy yourself the next battle pass, because they're just churning through. Like every couple of months you have to buy it. You have to buy it. So he's actually now like 3/4 of the way to earning enough of these points to get his own battle pass.
It's a nice lesson.
And because he the temptation's there. It's like you can just spend it on all this sort of stuff, and his mates will go, oh, you want this skin and you want that gun and you want this, and I'm pretty impressed actually. He's just like, no, my dad said.
What's his battle pass?
Dad said I'm going to save up my V-Bucks, and if he earns over what he needs for it, he can spend it.
You can get the skin.
Yeah, he can spend it. So yeah, I'm trying to teach him little bits and pieces like that.
Very cool. Teach him to start investing.
Yeah.
One step away.
Yeah.
You'll be on it.
10 years away. But yeah.
10 years away, he can do it. He can do it whenever he wants, can't he? Do it for him.
I don't think I trust him to invest in. Well, I would
You don't
trust
have to do
myself
anything
to invest in
complicated. You invest in the company that makes Fortnite.
invest in Fortnite. That's it. Invest in what you know.
Yeah, exactly.
But he's well good.
Yeah.
He's well good. He's like calm under pressure. It's like when I'm playing like games, I'm like, when we used to play Gran Turismo and used to always be in front of me, we'd play head on head, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
Head to head races. And I'd like be coming up on you, like you obviously get the second player boost or whatever it is. And I'd go, right, coming up on you. That last corner in Grand Valley. Was it Grand Valley East? I can't remember the names of the tracks now.
Yeah.
And just like, I'm just about to get you, just about to come past you. I just bin it every single time. I get too excited. But he's like, I'm watching him play. And he's like, see some dude off in the distance. And I'm like, there's a dude there. He's like, yeah. He's like, just change his weapon, lines him up.
Got it covered.
Well,
before we're talking about Fortnite, not Minecraft. That's a completely different
so they're two different. Yeah, Fortnite is like a battle royale game. Like 100 players get dropped onto an island, and you have to you collect guns and materials and stuff, and then basically the playable area shrinks all the way down to nothing, and you need to be the last person. So he's in there winning games against 100 people.
No way.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. And he only plays it on Saturday.
No, he's allowed it Saturday mornings and Sunday mornings, and then they can have like screen time Tuesdays and Thursdays. So he normally chooses to play like after school for like an hour, 2 hours. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. If he's actually practicing, because that's the difference, isn't it? He's actually practicing, and enjoying it, then he's on a winner there, basically, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's super cool. If he's enjoying it,
we would like, and it's.
Do adults play that?
Yeah, so he's got all the chat turned off, and he's got all that kind of stuff. So he only.
Well, I was just thinking in general, do adults play?
Yeah. I mean, there's like world champions where people win like millions of euros for being the world champion of whatever it is. So yes, it is like one of those things. It's like get your kid to play football, get your kid to play golf.
Yeah, it is now for sure, and like I say, it's going to get bigger and bigger, isn't it? Because like it's more or less accessible to everyone, isn't it? Like if you haven't got a lot of people have got a football pitch or whatever, but if someone wants to ride mountain bikes or ski or whatever, you can't do it everywhere, can you? But like online games, I'd rather be outside. But if that's what you're into, go for it. Yeah, I used to play Gran Turismo non-stop, man, and I loved it. Loved playing.
Oh yeah, into the.
I would rather have done that than anything.
Played it so much that you had to turn the PlayStation upside down so it didn't overheat.
Yeah, man, I played that like in insane. I think I was actually pretty good, and I didn't really realize how good, because I was playing it online, and I would like be up in the tables and stuff online, but I was just playing it.
Yeah.
Never mind. That was before. That was way back in the day, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like before any of that stuff existed.
So you got a knife. What else did you get?
A knife.
Not smashed.
Yeah, didn't smash myself. Got this mic. Didn't think about it like you did. So I think the mic was good, but I didn't think about the headphones either. I just Googled best value headphones. Turned out actually what they meant was cheap headphones with squeaking in my ears.
They are the best. Cheap.
cheap squeaking headphones you can get. Are these ones? Got some bits from my push bike because I wanted to prep that so I can ride that. So I've got the little one, not the enduro bike that I was racing with, but like a trail bike. So I tweaked all the gears, tuned all that, and then got some bits and pieces to bleed the brakes and just make them work a little bit better. So I'll do a little service on that. Yeah.
Do you need brakes or no?
It's controversial. They slow you down, don't they? But sometimes you need to slow down. That's the problem. Otherwise, you get splat. Yeah.
If you went fast enough, would you ever need to slow down?
No, if you went really fast, you'd be sweet. You'd be good to go. Sometimes you need to slow down. There's some crazy stuff when you go to the bike parks and stuff like that. There's some stuff there that you see when people go too quick, you just get annihilated. It's not where you want to be. Getting annihilated. But normally, speed is your friend. I like to work on that basis. The speed is your friend.
Power your way out of most stuff.
Yeah. Well, the problem is if you come up short on things, or if you go really slow in technical sections, and generally the faster you go, the less actual balance you need, because the bike itself is balancing you with the inertia of the wheels, for example. So if you run into like a rocky section or something a little bit technical, generally the faster you go up to a point, the better it is, because you're not all of a sudden just going to tip over or lose your balance. And you tend to as well be able to jump bits of the trail if you can get it right, rather than go through a route section. If you can go a little bit faster, you can jump over a route section, and that then helps you carry a little bit more speed, and you go a little bit faster and you flow a little bit better. But you can't just charge down first hit and do that. You have to work out what's going on.
See,
that's when you end up breaking yourself.
When you talk about going really fast through route sections and hitting jumps, I can absolutely relate to what you said there, because when I go out on my bike and I pop a little wheelie off a curb, that's what I feel like.
Basically the same thing. Yeah.
And then the back wheel hits and then I hurt my testicles.
Yeah,
so that's the same to me. What you just said and what I said are the same.
Basically the same. I like to jump off the occasional curb. It's basically the same thing. It's just a much bigger curb.
Do you jump like me, where you think you're going to do a jump, but your front wheel hits the ground before your back wheel even comes off the curb because you're going so slow?
It's so wide open. Sometimes. Yeah. Sometimes. I am now, like right now. I was riding down beside the river, and there's some little sections with roots and stuff like that. And normally you just send it over all of them because I'm a little bit nervous with my hip. But that makes it worse. If I'd just gone a little bit faster, it would have been fine. But instead, I'm like hitting all the roots and hanging up on the roots and then having to stop and stuff like that. But it's still super early days yet. So I need to just
don't go too crazy.
Behave with that and see. But there's a pretty serious hill, because there's a nice trail that comes down from basically the top of the hill that's out the back of Wick. But to get up that first, you have to climb probably 400 or 500 meters, which is a decent sized climb. If you're riding enduro or you're riding an enduro race, like 400-500 meters in Spain at least is a big climb. Probably the most you'll ever see is like a 700 meter climb. So 400 or 500 meter climb might take 45 minutes or something to get up, and pretty steep. So there's something like that here, which is probably too much even to go and just start off with. But the problem is everything else is flat, and then it's like flat and then mountain. So it's either you're riding on a flat or you're riding up a mountain. So I need to go and try, or maybe I'll do like half of it and come back down. Or
when you say climb, do you mean like biking up it?
Yeah,
like that sort
of riding
climb.
up a hill is called climbing.
Yeah, not just
cycling, not getting off and walking up. They do that as well in the enduros. There's some sections where it's so steep or so technical. You or push it basically, or push it up. So depending on how it is, like there are some sections where you literally climb and then you have to pick your bike up and carry it. But a lot of the time it's more like a sort of push up a trail. It depends how steep it gets. But like the very first enduro I did in Spain was like that, and the cramping thing I basically found out then because I was riding enduro, which is basically just riding mountain bikes. And I booked in for this race. And thought, I'll do that. And I bought the bike and everything. It was that after the first time after I had that big accident, I was in the hospital for a age, and then I had to recover from that. So I did the trail marathon, and then after that, I was like, okay, I still really can't ride a motorbike yet. So I'll get a mountain bike and I'll start training with that. So I got the mountain bike and I started to ride, and I was riding and just riding on my own around where I was living and doing little loops, like 20 kilometers and like 200 or 300 meters elevation. And I'd done the mountain marathon. In the mountain marathon, it was 2,700 meters of elevation. So almost like 3 kilometers of height you gain in 47 kilometers. So I booked in for this enduro, and it was the same, I think, 2,700 meters, but in 30 kilometers. And I thought, they've made a mistake. There's no way it can be that much. So I went to this race, man.
Steep.
And I went up the first thing, and I was like, oh my God. I went down the first chrono and like crashed my brains out because it was insane. It was like a downhill course, basically. And I'd only been riding around like near the beach. Went down the first stage like a downhill course, started to go up the second one, made it up the second one, got to the end of the second one, and just about finished my drink. But I was so slow that I didn't want to stop and get drink because I thought I'm not going to make the next check. As I come out of the next check, I turn around the corner, started to go up the hill, and got a cramp so hard in my both legs, that I had to sit on the floor by the side of the road and just hold my legs out straight, so I couldn't move. And so I then drank all the rest of my drink that I hadn't bothered to fill up, and then had to do the rest of the day feeling where I was about to cramp, and then like backing off a little bit from there. I managed to get all the way to the end of going up the 5th stage, and I was like, wow, it was really steep. And going up the 5th stage to the end, I was like 5 minutes over, and it was so steep, man. And I think we had to carry for like 15 or 20 minutes up this last bit, and like ultra steep. But I didn't have cramp, and I was like, oh yeah, I haven't got cramp. Got to the end, 5 minutes late when I got to the top, and the guy's like, oh yeah, your number is up, and you have to go straight away, because the longer you wait, the more penalty you get. So I was like, yeah, I'll go. So I like got up to the top, jumped on the bike, went hammering down the first bit of the stage, and immediately just got like this ultra cramp in my legs. And I was like, oh God. So I had to stop again, sit by the side of the trail. My legs are just like locked out straight, solid, man. I couldn't move my legs at all. I picked up some more drink on the way up, like the 4th one or something like that. They have, like,
that's the problem.
Periodically they have it. And I was just sitting there like drinking this drink, thinking, I can't get down. I can't go up and I can't go down. Like my legs just like completely locked out in front of me. And eventually they like released again and started to ride, and I think I had to like ride the whole thing sitting down. Literally any time that I tried to pedal, my legs just like cramped up immediately. So I'm riding this whole thing with my legs super cramped. But I was thinking, oh, no way, I'm not getting all this way and then not finishing it. Like I have to get down to the bottom. But it was just like super hardcore.
Like a good
and I thought,
time.
yeah, it's pretty. Well, it's a cool sport, but like you have to be super fit. It's like, it's hard. It's really hard. The climbs are just insane. Super steep. They're like first gear basically on the mountain bike, like first gear grinding for like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Up. And luckily, they're normally on the road. They're like on a tarmac road. So it's not super technical or anything until you get to these ones that are really quite steep, and then maybe you have to push. But yeah, that was savage. Like seriously underestimated that. Like horribly underestimated. Yeah. But going back to what we were saying about doing this sort of really hard, intense type work, that's like super intense, but also for a long period. When I then tried to do some road cycling, my like road cycling where it's steady state quite quickly went to quite an okay level because of the fitness I had from the mountain bikes. Because the road cycling, you're basically just spinning all the time. And like obviously the people who are good are like powering up the climbs and hammering it and stuff like that. But with the road cycling, like went in with quite a nice level because the mountain bike's so explosive, and you need to be so strong to get up the climbs and stuff with the big bikes. So that was pretty cool. So I jumped on that. But I didn't really enjoy the road cycling that much. It's okay, but it's a bit boring. Just spinning.
There's a lot of that around here.
Yeah. It's fun when you ride in a group.
Yeah, there's a lot of them around here. They think they don't need to indicate either. There's big issues around here with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Run them over.
I speaking of cramp, let's get onto that. I did a big assault bike workout a few weeks back, and I got off and thought I was okay, and went upstairs, and my calf started to cramp. So every time I tried to like stretch my calf out, it went the other way, and then my toes started to cramp.
Oh no!
So then I was like, had to stretch out my toes, and then my calf started to cramp. So I was like, oh no! I was just hanging on to like the edge of the bed, going, I don't know what to do with myself.
Move, yeah, you just can't.
Oh
move.
my God, that was awful. So yeah,
no, I get it. Sometimes in my neck here, in my chin, for some reason, and I'm like, if I move my head down, then it like locks my chin down like to my chest like this, like I can't. So I'm like, I was going to do it now.
You got to like stretch it out.
Yeah, and like stretch it out, and then as I get to the top of stretching it out, then it will start to like cramp again. Oh, it's evil, man, evil. But I think I just basically like blew my calf up, like, and that's why as well. So it's smaller than the other one, not only because I have used this leg. I worked out the other day. I've used my right leg for 1 year less than I've used my left leg in my whole life.
Yeah.
So but I think I like tore it and didn't realize, and then didn't get it. Well, you can't really do anything about it, I don't think. And then when I broke my leg last year skiing, the guy did the scan. He was like, "Oh, you've like torn your calf as well." I'm like, "Don't think so. I think that's torn from years ago." And but super painful. But I like felt it like rip off because but it was like a cramp that like ripped it because I was riding super enduro, and I think I fell over in a log section, put my leg down, and like I was so tired that I had cramp in my thigh, and my leg was out straight. And as my leg was out straight, it was like that thing of what you're saying, like when one's cramping and you're trying not to get the other one cramp. I like cramped my thigh and I was like, oh, so I like tried to like let it go. And as I put it straight, my calf just went, oh, and then I couldn't walk for weeks, man. But I thought I'd like just pulled it or whatever, but I think I ripped straight off up the back of my leg. No idea.
Poor little calf.
Poor little calf.
Build that. Yeah.
These are good. I've got these out of the box, and I was setting it up so that we would be able to run this today with all this tech.
Yeah.
And looked at it and it says, before first use, please charge for 8 hours.
Oh god.
Nope. Does anybody
That's too
do
much tech. You went too tech.
Charge out for 8 hours. Probably won't. I'll just try it now. Get it on. All the battery guys laughing all the way to the bank, aren't they? With it's a trick.
Oh,
it's a trap.
Elon with his super batteries. He's coming for him.
He's on it. Yeah, he'll be there. He'll be there waiting with his 8 hour first use time. There. You think they come like, although if they come pre-charged, they have to put them in the factory for 8 hours and charge them all up, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
And they wouldn't do
no one got time for that.
Nobody got time for that. I don't have no time for that.
Speaking of time, I think I don't know. I think we've gone over an hour now.
Time's up.
I've got some DIY to be cracking on with. Some fence painting and trellis putting up and all that kind of jazz.
Another trellis.
Yeah, we're just going to trellis up and out. So we're just in our own like trellis cage, like
trellis bubble.
Yeah,
like a
we're going to
make
like Butlins. Just going to tent over our whole house.
A little castle. Pretty sick. Little tarpaulin on the roof.
Yeah.
You can make your own
like some sort of post-apocalyptic Mad Max house.
Be all right.
Yeah, but that's going to be my evening dinner and drilling into fence posts and stuff.
I'm going to eat some more pulled chicken. I'm going to eat some more smushy chicken.
Yeah, pull that chicken
apart
to bits.
And that's it. Cool.
All right, mate.
Oh, dude.
I shall catch you next time.
On the flip side.
Yeah, boy.
Oh, yeah.